Hello friends, my name is Praveen Anchal and today we will learn about French Revolution. French Revolution is very important event in the world history because it has given many important concepts like fraternity, equality and liberty. French Revolution has many reasons like economic reasons, political reasons and social reasons. But first of all, we will understand about the background of the French Revolution. In 1774, Louis XVI came to power. He was from Bourbon family and he married to Austria Princess Marie Antoinette at the age of 20 years. Marie Antoinette was a very bad advisor to the king. When king came to power, he found that the treasury is empty, which was a very big problem for him. When he came to know about the reason, so the first reason was the war. Actually, France was indulged in war for a very long time. France and Britain was very close enemy with each other and they were fighting with each other for a very long time. Britain has captured about 13 colonies of USA and France is trying to help USA so that USA can get freedom. And for that purpose, France is not only spending their money but they are also taking money from the lenders at a very high interest rate of 10%. Apart from that, they also don't have good relations with the people. People are not feeling connected with the government or the king. The king is also not able to take the good decision. So one side he doesn't have money in his treasury, the second side he has to pay very high interest rate, the third side he has to maintain his army expenses, his government offices, his universities and his court offices, everything he has to maintain, and for that he need money. After thinking a lot, king come to the solution that there must be a tax increment so that they can get money to sort out all problems. But because of the old tradition of the France, the king alone cannot increase the tax. He has to take the permission from the States General. States General is a political body of France, and about the States General we will discuss later after the society structure of the France during the 18th century. So first of all, we will discuss about the France society structure during the 18th century. There were three states. The first state people were known as the clergy. The clergy are the people who are maintaining the church, like fathers and all. The second state people are known as nobles. Nobles are the feudal lords. The third state people are the common people, like businessmen, merchants, court officials, peasants and artisans, landless labor. They all people are comprises in the third state. The first state and second state people enjoy so many facilities that are known as privileges, and it was by birth, means they don't have to pay any taxes, and they are also getting taxes from the third state people. The third state people are facing so many problems because the entire tax burden are bear by the third state people. They are paying so many type of taxes. The tax that they are paying to the church or the clergy are known as taille. That was 1/10 of the total production, and it was paid by the peasants. The next type of tax they were paying to the king, and it was a direct tax, and it was known as taille. The third type of tax they were paying to the feudals or the nobles as a feudal tax, and the fourth type of tax they were paying as an indirect tax, and that was added in a product like the products such as salt and the tobacco. It was included in that, so it was an indirect tax that they were paying to the king. Apart from that, the population of the France increased very rapidly from 1715 to 1789, because in 1715 the France population was just about 23 million, but in 1789 it rose up to 28 million. The population is increasing but the product is not increasing, or the production is not increasing. That's why the demand was very high, but the supply was very less, and that's why the prices of the product rose up to sky, and it was very expensive. Even the basic food like bread, the cost was so high that the common people were not able to bear it. The wages of the people were fixed, and it was not increased as the prices of the product increased, and that's why people were not having enough money to purchase the products, even the basic products like bread. So one side the population is growing, the second side the prices of the product is also growing, the third side the king is planning to impose more taxes on the people. So people are suffering a lot, especially the poor people, because the rich people like nobles and clergies, they don't have to pay any taxes. So, and the poor people who need support from the king, and king is asking more tax from the poor people. So that is a complete bad decision, and that is king is thinking to implement. Now we'll discuss about the middle class of the 18th century. Actually, they people were also in the third state, but their financial condition was somewhere better than the poor people. And they people are educated. They people were aware with the new ideas. They people think that whatever is going on in the France is not correct. They people think that the facilities that is there by birth is not good. Actually, whatever privilege is there, that should be based on the merit, that should be based on the quality, that should be based on the skill, and that should be based on education, not it should be based on birth. They were thinking about the society which is based on the equality and freedom, and that idea was promoted by few philosophers like Rousseau, Montesquieu, and John Locke. Rousseau has written the book Social Contract. Social Contracts basically talks about the relationship between the king and the people. John Locke has written the book the Treatises of the Government, where he refuted the doctrine of divine and absolute rights. He believed that there must be a democracy where the people will take a decision, not an absolute king or not an absolute power like king or dictator. Next one is Montesquieu. Actually, he has written the book that is known as The Spirit of the Law, in which he has said there must be a division of the power between the legislature, judiciary, and executive. And his model of government was implemented in USA. When USA got independence in 1776, 4th of July, they implemented this model where there is a division of power between legislature, judiciary, and executive, and they also given basic rights to their citizen. And that new change and that new positive change inspired the political thinkers of France, and they were also thinking that sort of system should be there in France also. So far we have discussed that the king is not able to take a proper decision. The third state people, the poor people, are suffering from the taxes, the price rise, and they people are also divided in their society. They are not having equal facility, they are not having equal rights, and that's why there are some sort of angriness or some sort of dissatisfaction with the king and with his way of dealing with the people. Now again, back to the tax increment, where we have discussed that the king cannot alone take the decision of increasing the tax. He has to take permission from the States General, which is a political body. Actually, in States General, all state representatives are the participants or the member, you can say. The first state, the second state, the third state. There are 300 members from the first state. Similarly, 300 members from the second state, and 600 members from the third state. The concept is that each state will have one vote. That means first state 300 member will have one vote, second state 300 member will have one vote, and third state 600 member will also have one vote. So if first and second state will join hands with the king, and if they will pass the motion of increasing the tax, so they don't have to pay any amount as a tax, and the entire tax burden will be on the third state. So third state people demanded that there must be a changes in the process. Instead of one state one vote, there must be a one person one vote or one member one vote, and that looks more logical, because first state 300 members, so 300 votes will be there. Second state 300 members, so 300 votes will be there. And third state 600 members, so 600 votes will be there. So basically it was based on the democratic principle of equality. And they given this proposal, and they given this proposal to the king, but king denied this proposal, and he said that whatever is going from the past, and that will continue in the future also, and there will be no changes. So the third state people agreed with his decision, and they boycotted the meeting, and they entered into the indoor tennis court, and there they declared themselves as a national assembly. So third state people formed the national assembly, which main motto is to form the constitution which will limit the power of a king, because king is not able to take a proper decision. Some people were busy in forming the constitution, but majority of them were marched towards the Bastille Fort. Actually, they had rumor that the king is about to increase the tax, so they have so much anger for the king, and they approached to Bastille Fort, and they stormed the Bastille Fort, and they destroyed into the pieces on the date of 14th of July 1789, and that pieces were later sold in the market as a symbol of freedom. and that was a historic event that happened, that took place in the France, that changed the complete picture of the France. And later that day, 14th of July, is celebrated as a national day of the France. After that incident, the king realized that the people are very serious regarding regarding National Assembly as well as the constitution. So the king finally accepted and given approval to the National Assembly, and he accepted also the supremacy of the constitution. 4th of August 1989, the special privilege abolished of the clergy and nobles. Now clergy and nobles also have to pay taxes, and as previously they were taking taxes from the third estate, now they will not take any taxes, and whatever land they have under them, now that will be under the government. Now the people don't have to pay any taxes to the clergy and the nobles. Because of this great change, the government is able to manage 2 billion livres of money, which was equal to their loan amount, and because of that move they are able to pay back their loan, which was a great change, positive change. Like in India, if you see our constitution, so our constitution began with the provision like we the people of India, and there are so many basic rights like equality, fraternity, justice. So like in France also, that is started as the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen, where so many rights are there which are based on birth, means people are having those rights from the birth and nobody can take it away. Those basic rights are freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality, fraternity, and the most important one is the voting right. But one negative point is there regarding voting right, that voting right is not based on equality, because they have discriminated the citizen in passive voters and active voters. The voters are divided into the active voter and passive voters. Active voters are those who are entitled to vote, who are about 25 years of age, who are giving taxes. The minimum tax should be equal to 3 days of labor wages, and who are men. So they people are known as active voters. Their number is 4 million out of 28 million. 28 million is the total population, and 4 million is the total active voters. Passive voters are those voters who doesn't have the voting rights. They are women, they are men below 25 years of age, they are people who are poor and they are not paying any tax. So they are the people who are known as passive voters. So these voters are basically voting for two bodies. The first one is the judiciary, where they are voting for the judge. The second one, they are voting for the electors, who are 50,000 in numbers. Later those electors are voting for National Assembly members, and they are 745 in numbers. And these National Assembly members are controlling the executives. In executive there is a king and ministers. So basically National Assembly members are controlling king as well as ministers. Now during that period, so many people were not educated in France. So to make them aware, there were so many symbols that the people used to make them aware. Some symbols are like broken chain. Broken chain stands for freedom. The bundle of rods stand for unity. The eye within a triangle radiating light, this stands for the rays of knowledge. This means that the rays of knowledge will drive away the clouds of ignorance. Then there is a scepter, which was a symbol of royal power. Then the snake biting its tail to form a ring. Actually this is symbolizing the eternity. A ring has neither beginning nor end. Then the next one is red Phrygian cap. Actually this was cap worn by a slave upon becoming free, so it was a symbol of freedom. Then the next one is blue white red. Actually this is a national color of France, and the lady is wearing to depict that. The next one is the winged woman. This is a personification of law. Actually this is depicting that the people have the power of law. Law has given the freedom to the people. Now people have their wing back and they are flying in the sky with happiness. The law tablet says that the law is same for all and everyone is equal in front of law. Now again we will discuss about the Louis XVI. Actually Louis XVI has signed the constitution under the pressure of the people, but somewhere he is feeling bad because his power will be limited now, and because of that he is contacted with the neighbor kings of Austria and Prussia because somewhere Austria and Prussia kings are also thinking in a way that if the people of France can revolt against the king, then the people of Austria and Prussia can also revolt against the king. So they are having threatening, so they are having threat to see the scene of the France, and they are now thinking to help the Louis XVI, so that that particular revolution will be crashed forever. So they people, after their plotting or planning, they come to the conclusion that they will send the army which will crush the revolution permanently. But that particular decision misfired them, because the National Assembly came to know about their decision in advance, and they declared war against the countries like Prussia and Austria. The huge number of people also joined the army, and they were singing a song, patriotic song like Marseillaise. Marseillaise is just like a Vande Mataram, what we have used in the national movement in India. It was very patriotic, and people were using it for their inspiration and all. And today also it is a national anthem of France, and it was written by Roger de l'Isle, so you should remember it. Then, as in India, to make people aware, we have political bodies. Similarly in France also the people were having political clubs. So in France also they were having political clubs. There were, I think, 16 numbers, but the most famous one was the Jacobin clubs. Jacobin clubs member were thinking how to run the government, what is government plan and policies, how we can take the proper action, and how we can achieve the success. So that were all the things that the members of the Jacobin clubs were doing. And it was also having influence in India, like leader of India like Tipu Sultan were the member of the Jacobin club, and the king like Raja Ram Mohan Roy were also very much influenced with these concepts. And in this movement the women also participated in a very active manner. The leader of this political club, Jacobin club, the most famous one was Maximilien Robespierre, and he was a very great leader. He believed in the complete equality, and he said, and he brought all people together, and he said to all people that they will wear the long straight trouser. And after bringing all people together, as we have discussed that they come to know about the king's plotting, so they approached to the palace of Tuileries where the king and their family were living. They massacred so many people, and at last they also killed king and queen. So with that note, the chapter of the king and queen is over, and now the chapter of Robespierre is starting now. Robespierre, as we have said, came with the great concept of complete equality. He brought all the people together. He done some amazing changes, like now voting rights has been given to all people, regardless of their wealth status, like rich and poor, everyone will get voting rights. The next very important change is then that the upper age limit has been reduced from 25 to 21 years. Now the voting minimum age is 21 years. Now the people above 21 years can vote, but still the women are not have the voting rights. So that is again a big problem for women. Now women will get voting rights after so many long time in 1946, just before the independence of India. So women struggled a lot during that time. Now on 21st of September 1792, after the death of the king and queen, the monarchic nation has converted into the republican nation. After that, one more phase will come, that is known as the Reign of Terror in 1793 to 1794. Actually what happens, the Robespierre was so erratic in his way of implementing his decision, that he was taking the path of violence. He was using very harsh punishment for the people who are not following his order or who is not accepting the concept of republic. He was using very harsh ways, like he used the machine that is known as guillotine machine, that was designed by Dr. Guillotine. Actually there was a two poles, in between that was a very sharp blade, and it was used to behead the people. So it was very, very harsh way of and very inhuman way of treating with the people. and anybody who is talking against the king, they were humiliated, they were imprisoned, they were treated very badly. So later, the Robespierre became very disfamous among the people, and he was a means of terror for them. And even his supporter demanded some ease of treating with the people. Later court convicted him and he was imprisoned, and later he was also guillotined and he was also killed. So after the death of Robespierre 1794, the Jacobin club was overthrown, and now the France has been taken over by the middle class. That was known as the Directory rule. Actually, in the Directory rule, there was so many conflicts within the member, and that weakness was taken advantage by the great Napoleon Bonaparte. Now the chapter of Napoleon Bonaparte will start from 1804 when he became emperor, but during that 10 years, means 1794 to 1804, so many extra, so many more incidents has been taken place. Now we'll discuss about that. So first of all, we'll discuss about the women's. Now as we have seen that women were struggling a lot to get equal opportunity, to get voting rights, to get the chance to form political clubs, and they were also demanding so many other things. Because of their struggle and hard work, they now have the training for jobs. They now can start small businesses. So some changes are there which is happening very slowly for them. Now the next very suppressed class was the slaves. Actually there was a three body. The one is USA, the second one is Europe, and the third one is Africa. Actually Europe was acting as a middleman, and they were purchasing the slaves from the Africa, and they were selling to the USA, because in USA for the plantation work so many laborers were required. So the Europeans were purchasing from Africa the slaves, the humans, and they were transported in the in the ships, and they were putting so many number of slaves in one room, and because of the suffocation so many people are dying, and they were throwing those people into the sea. So that much inhuman behavior they were doing with the people. And the people leaders of Africa are also selling their own people for very cheap prices. So very bad trade was happening in between USA, Europe and Africa, and that was really very poor, and that was stopped after 1794. But again it was started in 1804 when Napoleon Bonaparte came to power. Now we'll discuss about Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was a great leader, great inspirational character for the people. He started his life as a soldier, then he became the commander, and later he declared himself as emperor in 1804. He described himself as a modernizer of Europe, and he also brought some positive changes, and he implemented some good laws like protection of private property. The next one is a uniform system of measurement and weights by decimal systems. So these were some good changes that he brought. People were seeing him initially as a liberator who can give them freedom, but soon after he invaded with his force the entire Europe and almost conquered the entire Europe. But at the Battle of Waterloo he defeated in the year of 1815, and later he was also died, so his chapter was also closed. But he although died, but his concept and his character is still there with us. The way he approached his people, the energy he has with him was something amazing, and still today we feel proud to discuss about him. Everyone have some flaws, everyone have some negative points, so he also has, but we should see the positives also, and he was full with the positives. So that was all about Napoleon Bonaparte. 1804 became emperor of the France, and 1815 defeated in Waterloo. Now we'll discuss about some important dates. So 1774 the King Louis came to the power, and he taken some bad decisions. Then in 1789 the States General meeting conducted, where the third state was not happy with the decision of the king, and they boycotted the meeting, and later they formed the National Assembly, whose main motto was to form the constitution to limit the power of the king. Then in 1791 our constitution is framed. The king is beheaded. In 1792 the France became republic. In 1793 to 94 the reign of terror happened. then the overthrow of Jacobin clubs and the directory rules the France. Then in 1804 Napoleon Bonaparte came to power. He was a great king, as we have discussed about him, and he won almost entire Europe, but in 1815 he defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. So with that note, the entire chapter is completed. We have some important questions for you. The first one is, what are causes of French Revolution? The second one is, describe the society of France. The third one is, describe the democratic rights we enjoy today which originated from French Revolution. The fourth one is, describe the reign of terror. And the fifth one is, how would you explain the rise of Napoleon? So these are a few questions that you must write the answer from yourself. And at last I want to say that I hope you like our video, and if you liked our video then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any doubt then please comment it below. I promise you that personally I will reply you. And now we will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.